In addition to picking up these 4 DVDs and these 2 books, I also found the Steinbeck book East of Eden, which was a great copy of it, which I put in my second location, my bookstore only store, bookstore. So the rest of this is what I got yesterday at the thrift store. Interesting for me, the East of Eden is one of my favorite Steinbeck books, so I was really happy to pick that up. Also, we had already sold the one copy we had to someone else a couple of weeks back. I actually had a copy here at my book and media store. I had a East of Eden copy. Didn't realize it, but then I saw it, pulled off the shelf, brought it to the other location, and we were able to get it into the hands of someone who was looking for it. So now that I picked up another copy, I will put it back in the store, and hopefully someone else will be able to buy it and enjoy it. I thought that was interesting. That's one of my favorite Steinbeck books. And then I have not yet read this book, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins, but I would like to. I had another copy that I found. I made a video about it probably within the last few months. Put it in my store. It sold really quickly. And I'm debating about reading it because I'm reading something else right now. We'll see. I don't know if I'll come across another copy anytime soon. I was surprised to find the first one, which was the first time I'd ever found it, and now I found this one. So, interesting. The interesting thing about this book, I don't know if you know this guy. There's a lot of clips of him online. His life, you can see the shadow of him in the back. See when he was overweight, and then he shrunk down to become this in shape. I believe he was a Marine. Let's see. He became a Navy SEAL. But anyway, he became a decorated soldier, and then he did competed in more than 60 ultra-marathon, triathlon, and ultra-triathlons, setting new course records and regularly placing in the top 5. I think he's in his late 40s at this point, but still getting at it. The interesting thing about this book, though, is aside from the the person that wrote it, is that you can't sell it on Amazon. You can only sell it on eBay. There's a lot of used copies on eBay, but on Amazon, it's going for around $20 brand new, and they will not let you list it or sell it FBA or merchant fulfilled. So that is interesting that he did that to, I assume, keep the price up and not have to drop it and just sell more copies, essentially. So that was a smart move, I'm sure, long-term for his pocketbook, because the rank right now, the current rank is 178. Not 178,000, but 178. So it's one of the top 200 books in terms of sales rank that's selling on Amazon right now, and still selling a lot of copies. And I'm sure because there's no other used copies available on Amazon anyway, that's why, one of the reasons why. I also picked this book up, which I read quite a few years ago. It's really interesting, called The Man Who Quit Money. You can read what it says here. This guy named Daniel Suelo, he, in 2000, just kind of gave up his life and decided to live without money, without working for money, without accepting money, without driving, without a car. And he just sort of, he ate roadkill. He went through dumpsters. He lived out in the desert, that kind of thing. So it's really interesting. And he did this in 2000. So it's 2024 now. And he maintained a blog online, which he would go to which he would access through the library, through a library computer, and he would post there sort of randomly. And this guy followed him around and wrote a book about him. But it's an interesting book, and it was funny that I found that because I still have my own copy. So I'm going to put this in my store as well. Pretty fascinating stuff. From what I understand, he's still living like that. Well, sort of. His parents became ill, and he's been taking care of his mother still. So I don't think that he actually lives like that currently. But check him out. Check out his blog. Look up his name, Daniel Suelo. You'll find it. So I found that. And then these 4 DVDs, I know I haven't had either of these in the store or this. This Tom Horn with McQueen I may have had. I've never even heard of this one, Hail Caesar. However, not only does it have Anthony Michael Hall, Robert Downey Jr., and Judd Nelson, but of course Samuel L. Jackson. I did not know about this movie, which means I didn't know he was in it. So I'm going to put this with all my other Samuel L. Jackson movies. Only selling it for $3, but was able to pick it up for $1. All of these except this one I got for $1, all the DVDs. This one was $2. I'll sell it for $5 in the store. And these are some older ones. Frank Capra's You Can't Take It With You. So black and white movies. This is Betty Davis, The Letter. Also black and white. So we'll be adding those to the store. I'm always looking for unique, interesting titles that I either haven't had, never heard of, excuse me, that I can pick up for pretty inexpensive. And I really enjoy adding more, in this example, Samuel L. Jackson movies to the collections that I have, because I have some here where I have it by actor. So I've got Leonardo DiCaprio, Jim Carrey, Will Ferrell, Clint Eastwood, Liam Neeson, Nicole Kidman, Angelina Jolie, Will Smith, and of course by the director M. Night Shyamalan, Adam Sandler, Charlize Theron, and then I have even more. Over here. That was sort of the overflow, and then I've got this whole tall bookcase going all the way down to the floor of other actors and actresses. When I come across a different title I don't have already, as an example, who would you think I would sell out the quickest? Well, here's Samuel L. Jackson. Are you surprised that Schwarzenegger sold out fast? I'm not surprised. It's down to, 5? I used to have double, if not more than that. The other one that I was kind of surprised by was Tom Hanks. I used to have all the way up to the top of the bookshelf and more on the side, and it is sold through. It's really funny how that is. Another one too is Claude Van Damme. I've sold a lot of his as well. A cult classic, cult favorite. I've been working really hard to get through all of this inventory that I have stacked up over here. So I've diminished this stack of CDs, gotten through 2 more. I'm down to those 2. I still, of course, have this whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. I've got, so in total 7 more before I get into the next Gaylord. But I am right now going through all the CDs. So once I clear out all of the CDs, go through those, clear out that space, find the good stuff. Like, for instance, that stack is what I just did this morning, found from my store this morning from one Banker's box. Once I get through all that, then I'll go through all these other boxes, and I've got bags, and then even more boxes over there that are full of all of those books that were donated to me, which appear to largely be romance. They're paperback romance novels. Some of them are vintage. Most of them are from at least 20 plus years ago. So many from the 80s, many from the 90s, probably a good amount from the 2000s, but there's also probably some even older ones in there. So I want to free up as much space as I can, because I'm going to be needing a lot of space to sort through those as I figure out whether it's worth it to sell some of them in lots on eBay, or if it's worth keeping some of them for my other bookstore and just doing the research on all of that. And then once I get through all of that, I can then start diving into... I have 2 Gaylords here, just this one and the other one in the middle, that are still full of CDs, going through those. Now, I still have the records that I'm going through as well, but that's something that I'm going to be doing ongoing. So that's part of the mix, is continuing to sort through all of those records that I have, that I showed you the other day in my bathroom here in the warehouse. I already put out all of these here. All of these records are new for this week. I dispersed everything else that did not sell this last week out into the vinyl, and here into the vinyl that is individually priced. Sold probably, I would say, over half of what I put out last week of the vinyl. So it's really good stuff. Hopefully I'll do well with what I put out this week as well, and I'll just keep doing that to really plow through a lot of that vinyl So I'm making it a priority to get through all of the extra built up inventory I have. I mean, you could call it death piles. Essentially, it's extra inventory. So I'm not, today's Tuesday. I normally go to the thrift store on Tuesday. I haven't gone in the last like 3 weeks just because I've been focusing on getting through all the excess that I have. While I also spend a little bit of time, like an hour and a half down at my second location because there's a ton of books there as well, stacked up in the back. They used to be on the sales floor, and now I'm going through them with a fine-tooth comb to see what makes sense to keep to sell in the store and if there's anything worth selling online. So, and there's stuff that's not worth keeping. So all of that is to say that I'm not actively looking for new inventory. I go on Monday and Wednesday nights just because I'm already out there 25 minutes from my house and there's a thrift store nearby. Anyway, when I talk about that, like where I picked up this stuff, and I don't usually pick up that much, as you can see, not much more than 10 or so. If I go crazy, I might get 12 to 15 items if I find a lot, but I only spend about 45 minutes there. But yeah, I just have a lot of inventory to go through, which is great. It's just that it's going to take time, and I'm really focusing on that now, so that I can get closer and closer to, which I've talked about for a while now, getting back into mixed media gaylords, not just one type of media, but everything I'm looking for. Of course, won't have books and it won't have records, but everything else will potentially be in there. And then moving towards going that route on a bigger scale, getting help to sort through it, having someone listing and all that stuff. So this is all that train is heading in that direction. But for now, the issue with CDs is it's so much more laborious to not only sort through them, but to also look them up. It's hard to teach someone how to do that. It's a very long learning curve. But I can teach someone how to sort through gaylords and then start to help me sort through things like, to a certain degree, sort through some of the CDs, but also the DVDs and everything else. Check discs, all that kind of stuff is what I'm heading towards, so that I can have a steady flow of new inventory. I still have stuff coming into the store. Usually every week I get either donations, some trades, some buying opportunities. So that's still happening. But when that stuff comes in, I attack it first. But I keep plodding away. So when I get to the point, which is still months away, to not having any of these gaylords here, I will have gone through all the records in the bathroom. I've gone through all these boxes. Then I'll be ready to start looking into the best source I can find for the mixed media gaylords, because I really want to list a lot more and sell a lot more on eBay. Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next video. Take care.